Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between X3-DemoN versus biko. This game taking place here on Amazonia. Over here on the bottom left hand side of the map we have X3-DemoN spawning as the blue human player going up against biko, who is spawning as the yellow undead. I've been watching a lot of the matchups, or just really intent on looking at the matchups that Blizzard has supposedly been patching, updating, and fixing to try and even out the playing field. Human versus undead, night elf versus orc. There was discussions on whether or not human versus night elf would also be effective. Well, it all comes down to the game, and we'll see whether or not, well, what comes of this all. What's going to be going down? Most likely, we are going to be looking at an Archmage going up against a Death Knight. That seems to be the strategy that a lot of players have gone back to. The Crypt Lord is no longer overwhelming, and well, balance seems to have been maintained. Still, really strong first heroes. As the Death Knight comes into play, Archmage comes into play, but it isn't so. It isn't in such a foregone conclusion anymore. A couple of things to say for me, right? As I reflect back on my years and years of playing Blizzard games, more than 20 years now, um, I was I was able to play Blizzard games for a very long time, and I actually got invited to onto Blizzard campus. For a couple of those years, covering StarCraft 2, covering just a large number of games, and had a lot of fun. I'm afraid to say that all of the people that I once knew, that I once met, I guess the last changing of the guard has finally happened, and I no longer know anyone from Blizzard any longer. I think David Kim, um, a well-known, respected game balance designer from StarCraft 2, I think he recently left Blizzard, so I no longer have any contacts at Blizzard, and well, it does leave me a little sad overall, knowing that, well, I can just go down the list of names of people that I used to knew and wondered what has happened to a company that I enjoyed and was so excited to see for so long. All right, we're going after all of these skeletal minions back across here. Skeletal minion gonna get taken down as well. Footmen, peasants all fighting back here. Death Knight looking to clean up the rest of this creep camp here. It's definitely a sad thing, but it's quite special the company lasted as long as it did. It is, but there is also a lot of names that I am well looking forward to, right? Um, oh my gosh, Ben Rhodes, right? Um, Ben Rhodes, Chris Siggety, Chris Metzen, Dustin Browder, right? All names, the Frost Giant Studios, Dreamhaven, and all of these names are just names that I'm really looking forward to. As we see a Death Coil, Death Knight does pick up some experience there, and I'm really excited to see what they have in store. Remo said Archmage first is too meta for human, so they should buff the other heroes. Um, well, I yeah, if they gave if they gave like divine if I don't know if they had tried to buff devotion aura, not by just giving only armor but armor and movement speed, and you know, you would have to balance it so that devotion aura doesn't give as much armor anymore. I think you would actually see a lot more paladin play, as well, Bean from Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game says movement is one of the keys to battle, and human for some reason is one of the slowest races out there, and there's no way to really recover from it. Blade Master Orc has movement speed, has so much movement speed bonus with their Farseer, their Spirit Wolves, their Raiders, that the large lumbering orc that I would think of thematically, the big strong characters aren't actually that slow. Um, And meanwhile, Archmage now looking to back up once again. A Death Knight doing a bit of chasing as well. Hit point and movement speed on coming across, as we are already looking at a transition into Demon of Rifleman or Orcs are master of hit and run. Yeah, exactly. With Raiders, hit and run tactics, being able to pick off units. And that is a major part of any strategy or tactical real-time strategy game. Even more so in Warcraft 3, as the units have more hit points and the units tend to stick around a bit longer than, say, in StarCraft 2. Archmage going to go ahead and engage here. Perhaps be a bit surprised that a Naga Sea Witch is right here as well. Demon is going to be in a bit of trouble, but the Death Knight also taking quite a bit of damage. Death Knight, is he going to try and, well, get a Death Coil off on that unit here? That is the question. Archmage looking to back away, but leaving behind all of his units as well. This is just a lose-lose situation for this, as the Archmage now going to go in and Scroll of Town Portal, head back. Death Knight could have tried to head back here. What was that? Scroll of Town Portal didn't pick off or pick up any of the remaining units, as the Archmage is now inside his base. We need to see this Arcane Sanctum sped build to try and heal up all of those units. Meanwhile, we're looking at Water Elementals, Footmen, Riflemen shooting in the backs of the Death Knight here, but the movement speed of the Death Knight, because of that unholy aura, allows them to back away rather easily. So yeah, I'm coming back to it. If Devotion Aura just gave 1 armor, 2 armor, 3 armor, but gave like the movement speed, like the 7% movement speed, I think we would actually see a lot more death or a lot more Paladin play, or even Paladin second. Movement speed is such a strong part of the game. Just trying to get into the proper position. All of those tactics, all of those things, so incredibly important. Then I don't know then, but then would you argue like natural regeneration, half natural regeneration for your army is the same as 1 point of armor? And that's questionable, right? Like, that's one of those things where it's so hard to quantify what is the value of natural regeneration. Like right now, if there was Devotion Aura, this Rifleman, this Archmage, this Rifleman right here, none of them would be benefiting from that bonus natural regeneration or bonus additional armor, because, well, they're not taking damage. But on the flip side, right? So it's one of those questions, like, what happens? What is actually better? And you'd almost have to study the numbers overall, and then know that the numbers don't really define until it is in actual gameplay. Because you could come up with a Warcraft 3 Warcraft numbers overall, but in actual gameplay, in actual execution, things are a little bit different. Stormlord onto the Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch could be taking a lot of damage here. Footman going to get taken down pretty fast as well. Naga Sea Witch now slithering back. Perhaps the Mountain King didn't realize that Naga Sea Witch had 9 armor, able to prevent a lot of damage, and a burrowing Crypt Fiend. Always thought that it was a bit odd that a burrowing Crypt Fiend could actually burrow. And I thought that was like a channeled ability, but it is not the case. It got stunned as it got burrowed, and it was still able to hide itself in the ground. All right, not quite sure how that works thematically, but then again, I already think about Warcraft 3 too much. You can entangle burrowed fiends. All right, coming back across, there's a Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight, however, gonna have plenty of time to get away, shake off that once more, as it looks as though Biko is just having an absolute blast playing. Oh no, Death Knight could be in trouble. Down to 70 hit points, down to 10. It gets taken out, and the Mountain King and Archmage finish the job there. I was thinking to myself that Biko was gonna be in an absolute brilliant position to just finish off his opponent, or to pick off and retreat back from his opponents, but losing that to Death Knight is absolutely huge, as the units are now retreating back again. All right, overstaying his welcome, or staying too long in the fight. But Biko now being forced to resurrect resurrect that Death Knight. Lich was also getting queued up as well, so that was a bit of a delay in getting that Death Knight back out onto the field. And what this means is, well, it means that Demon, X3-DemoN now has a little bit more opportunity to clear up some more creep camps, and he's bought himself time. That is going to be key here, as the Mountain King will be getting to level 3 in this position. Well, Lightning Shield dealing damage out, finally trying to micro away from all of those locations here. Mountain King will be getting up to level 3, as we're looking at Demon now going into, well, Demon is now going into low upkeep, purposely taking down his own peasants to try and save himself from, well, getting taxed too much. 50 supply compared to 48 now. Death Knight should be joining back out onto the field here momentarily. Wait. Oh, no. Alright, so what actually looked like happened is that the Death Knight was cancelled so that the Lich could buy the Orb of Corruption, thereby delaying that Death Knight another 40 seconds or so until enough gold was available. Archmage now coming back around the corner here. Are we going to see them go down? Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend currently unable to burrow since it is stunned. Damage is adding up. Mountain King is going to get off another Stormbolt. Most likely will be able to do that. Are we going to see a reveal? Wait for it. There it goes. Finishing off another unit. Archmage gets up to 4 here. Priest getting in a little bit of damage onto the Abominations as they retreat back. Level 3 Death Knight still out of commission temporarily. Archmage gonna go after the Granite Golem creep camp, so that's gonna be a big deal. Stun onto the Archmage there. And what's interesting is that the Rock Golems could also do the same thing, tossing those boulders, and you can actually get stun locked by multiple Granite Golems here. Paladin is out onto the battlefield. He has an Orb of Fire, getting in a little bit of bonus damage. We're looking at all of these units getting finished off pretty quickly, as the Paladin may be forced to back up here, but well, the Paladin not really too concerned, knowing that it has plenty of time to just go Holy Light and saving those units. Meanwhile, back off to the top left, Death Knight back out onto the battlefield will be clearing up the same creep camp as well. And it may come down to, well, experience on those hero levels, whether or not level 2 Brilliance Aura makes a big enough difference in the impact of this game. Lich, however, is awfully very close to level 3 as well. We're going to be looking at level 3 Death Coil, level 3 Forked Lightning, and level 3 Frost Nova. Coming back around, Paladin sitting at level 2. He has the Medallion of Courage, Orb of Fire, and Staff of Sanctuary transferred to the Archmage here. An Undead making some quick rounds as they aggro the creeps, and this could potentially be a problem. Mountain King doesn't have Clap. He's going to go straight up for that Lich. Lich, however, gets a Death Coil. That's going to be a little bit less, though, as the Lich now looking to back away. Archmage trying to back up as well. Death Coil onto that Lich once more. Forked Lightning trying to finish off some units. 50 supply compared to 52 as the Archmage is battling it up here. Mountain King trying to back away. Holy Light saving that Mountain King there. Obsidian Statue is quickly taken down as the Mountain King down to 87 hit points. Forked Lightning finishing it off. No Staff of Sanctuary as we're looking at a Death Coil finishing off or saving an Abomination. Lich now gets up to level 3. Frost Nova going down as well across multiple units again and again, as the Paladin is now at level 3 as well. Forked Lightning starting to eat away at multiple heroes and units here. 43 supply compared to 39. As we're looking at the Paladin is going to try and Holy Light that Rifleman. No, it is not. Not the Sewage gets up to level 4. And this is an actual bloodbath here, as the creeps are still in the fight, dealing damage back to the Undead army. Even in a 2-on-1 battle, the Undead still able to hold on to this fairly well, and may actually come out ahead here, as many of those priests that are showing up on the battlefield may get cleaned up by, well, some other units. Water Elementals could easily getting damage. There's another Holy Light, Frost Nova, another priest gets taken down. There's a Death Coil saving that Abomination, as another Rifleman can get taken down as well. All right. Water Elemental about to get finished off. There it goes as well. The creeps have been constantly fighting Undead in what was a 2v1 fight, and still Undead comes out ahead in that location here. Death Knight of biko just winning that battle, and I don't know what more I could say. Coming back around, we're looking at the Forest Trolls looking to retreat back here. Paladin gonna end up trying to finish off the remainder of the creep camps. Mountain King still looking to get resurrected, but Demon perhaps thinking what actually went wrong in that fight. Level 4, level 4, level 3 going up against level 4, level 3, level 3. Demon no longer having that experience and hero level advantage. Wow, it's too early, Wild Striker. Yep, I know it was a bit earlier than I normally start casting, but well, that's what my timetable looks like today. But thank you for tuning in as well. Abomination is now going to head back off to the north here. There is Disease Cloud. Do we have Disease Cloud on any of these units? Yes, we do. Rifleman Priest. Do we see Knights? I know we saw Animal War Training. We're still training up. No, we didn't see Animal War Training. We saw Inner Fire training from those priests. And what's interesting is that we actually haven't seen Inner Fire be cast on any of the units. There isn't even destroyers out on the battlefield in order to devour that magic. So perhaps Inner Fire would have made the difference to save the Mountain King. You have to remember, Inner Fire adds additional armor, +5 armor, and then. And since you're taking less damage per attack, it also makes the healing overall more effective. If you think about it another way, actually no, just watch my Warcraft 3 video about armor, Crota Warcraft 3 armor. It explains and it explains how armor works pretty clear cut, and well why it's so difficult to think about armor in Warcraft 3. Alright, already going in the flak cannons and flying machines without actually having seen a single destroyer from his opponent. The obsidian statues were picked off early in that battle, but still, Biko was able to stick around in that battle for just so long. Orb of Fire was there, so much was going on there, but still unable to actually retreat out. One flying machine is scouting overhead, keeping track of his opponent. Have to be careful though. 53 supply going up against 50 supply now. We are now going into low upkeep by Biko, and we still don't see any expansion as of yet. 11 workers coming across. I believe there was nope. There is actually no lumber mill down, so there is no masonry upgrades and no improved lumber harvesting. Not quite sure why you would. Come on, peasants. There's trees right here. Why would you walk around a tree to cut down another tree? Um, you just don't want people to know that you're cutting down all the trees in the forest. Like, look, there's a line of trees right here, but all the trees in the back are all destroyed. Is that what you're doing? Alright. Skeletal minion now moving out and about again. Sorceresses are out onto the battlefield. They do have adept training. We are looking at 63 supply compared to 63 both sides. I made it to the stream, yep. Both sides. I'm ready for this upcoming battle in low upkeep. Now, will Undead be able to do enough damage? That is the question to have. I now keep on realizing that people are adjusting my microphones and all of this as well. All right, coming down. All right. I can only fill up so much dead space without a co-caster. You know, like co-casters being able to dual cast. You can talk about other topics. If I knew there was going to be this long lull in the game, I would have talked about a blizzard, and well, yeah, all of the names that I know have come and gone. All right, just over the years. Actually, is JC still there? JC Low? She might still be there. I know that Kim left. There would be enough lumber in Amazonia. Very rarely do they run out of wood. However, in the game, wood can be quite precious. That's true. Right. Flying machine taking a little. Remember Husky? Husky was never a Blizzard employee. I'm talking about Blizzard employees. Right, we're looking now at, well, Biko purposely unsummoning buildings, now going into, is there a game where lumber is an issue due to deforestation? I don't know. I don't even think Sid Meier's Civilization does that. Oh, I like his cast. Yes, I do remember Husky. H to the Husky. Yep. Route, and we're looking at, well, units getting ready for an engagement. 79 over 20 supply. I believe they bought a good number of items as well, scrolls of healing, and here we are going to be going into engagement. Flying machines are out and about. Riflemen do have inner fire, and there's some quick fork lightning adding in some damage as well. Coming back across, ghouls are going straight after the units here, and what is going on in this battle? Without Thunderclap, quick death of the Lich though, taking down one of those heroes and taking down much of that burst damage. Archmage now going after the Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch has no chance for a death coil. It gets taken down. And biko doing a great job focusing down heroes, and now it's just army versus, army going up against 3 heroes and an army. 62 supply going up against 62 supplies. 62 supply. Fly machines looking for targets, not finding any, but that also means that the inner fire on all of the riflemen is not getting challenged. Ghouls are coming back across here, still battling it up. 54 supply compared to 51. Staff of Sanctuary trying to save some units. Mountain King going after the Death Knight. Death Knight does have a potion of mana, but he doesn't have anything else that could really save him. There's a Death Well, finish off a Rifleman there. Now looking to back up. Inner Fire, or Orb of Fire causing the Prime. Ghouls coming back around here, and 1 or 2 destroyers would have made the difference. You can see all of the slow in the world, and the Undead still having so many abominations. I don't know what more you could have asked for in this fight coming in from DemoN. DemoN finished off the hero. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 300 hit points. Mountain King is going to be able to bash it. No, not going to be able to bash it at all, as the fly machines are just overhead. Abominations. And DemoN, well, DemoN, he had a bunch of, all he needed to do was take down slowed abominations, slowed ghoul, didn't really care. Death Knight, Staff of Sanctuary saves here, as the obsidian statues are providing a bit of mana. Are we going to see Animate dead? No, he went for level 3 Unholy Aura, and that might actually be a mistake here, as he needs to just have enough to finish off his opponent. 50 supply going up against 33 now. Death Knight now looking to back up. Abominations, all of these units still continuing to fight their way through. No more gold being mined anywhere, and Abominations going up against, with the Disease Cloud going up against Militia, just seems like a very unfair battle. Death Knight now looking to back up again here, and we're looking at the Ghouls now looking to, move back once more. Flying machines, were there to try and stop the destroyers from devouring magic, stopping them from, eating water elementals, removing slow, and having inner fire. And you would normally think that that is just an absolutely silly move not to have one destroyer in this condition. There's a death coil for a little bit longer of a save. Orb of Fire still doing a little bit of a save there, as the Abomination is going to go ahead and retreat out anyways. Unholy Aura moving very fast, forcing to use a Stormbolt there. All right, continuing the battle, 46 supply compared to 30. The army is just that different overall, as the priest and the archmage really starting to add up a little bit more damage. Death Knight down to 700 hit points. Are they going to burst down that Death Knight? Indeed, that is the question, as we're looking at, Mountain King with still plenty of mana. Another Stormbolt could be coming across here in just a moment. All right, surround onto the archmage. Archmage could be in trouble. There's a death coil. Archmage gets taken down. 46 supply compared to 25, as we're looking at biko trying to, finish off the Death Knight here, or sorry, DemoN trying to finish off the Death Knight here. Biko just trying to run around. Mountain King, Stormbolt, 1-2 punch finishes off the Death Knight, but is it too little, too late? 41 supply compared to 25. Paladin gonna get taken out, and now the army is there as well, finishing off the rest of the units. And what is, this game has to be an example of, or is just another example of how difficult it is as human to beat an undead player. He caught his opponent off guard, shut down the Death Knight early, had the hero level advantage, fought against his opponent. He creep-jacked him. The creeps were attacking him throughout the battle. Throughout the battle, the creeps were attacking him. The Undead army had a 2-on-1 fight and came out ahead, taking out and getting in even more experience over the human side. Finally, in the end, right? Undead not bothering to go destroyers, not bothering to devour magic, the slow, the inner fire, the water elementals, the entire Undead army was slowed. Human then on top of it, death coiled or storm bolted and Holy Light the Lich, removed it from the battle, did the same thing to the Naga Sea Witch. 2 of the 3 heroes on the Undead were gone. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Undead army slowed. Human army inner fired. Undead wins. Undead had a better. I don't know. If you said there is a human army that has inner fire and healers going up against an undead army that is slowed and you cannot dispel, I would think the buff plus the slow and the damage reduction on the on that, I think that would make it a little bit, it should make it closer, right? Normal damage A bombs are quite tanky with the statues. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. But I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Yes, I understood. I understand that abominations are better than riflemen, right? I totally get that. But what I'm ultimately saying is, like, and remember, there was orb of fire on the archmage. The archmage, he was focusing down abominations, right? So the obsidian statues were healing less, the death knight was healing less, and still it didn't matter. Humans didn't have knights. If the human had knights, what would they have done? Minimal crypt fiends, right? All they could have done is they could have tanked the riflemen a little bit better. But um yeah, I don't know. By the way, he killed the Naga. He had no casters left. The frenzied ghouls made short work of them. Yeah. Most Undead players, especially gold or silves, won't win versus inner fire rifles. Yeah. If you have inner fired rifles going up against slowed abominations, slowed ghouls, and one Death Knight and obsidian statues, while the other side has multiple heroes, I would think, I yeah, I would think priest with inner fire should make your units tanky. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and stay tuned for more Warcraft 3.